Okay, yes. Start, Anita.
Hello and welcome to this Rubaru with Sunita Chaubey, who runs a recruitment company by the name of Sept. A little bit of information about Sunita. She came to the UK in 2000 and from there has been running an IT recruitment agency very, very successfully. A warm welcome to you, Sunita. Have I lost you or are you still there? I think Sunita is experiencing a bit of a
Lost her, but yes, we want our viewers to understand that today it is very important for us to know that what are the IT opportunities while Sunita will come back again. IT opportunity in UK, what are online sites recommended, what is the process of applying for jobs in UK, what does a recruiter look into your CV? That's very important, isn't it, Anita? The CV is so important, and it has to be just one-page CV. And then who and why is skilled migrant visa becoming very popular? Because nowadays the point-wise system, it's very important that you are skilled, and expectations from agency who are working for you, and expectation of client. These are the questions which Sunita Chaubey will be sorting out. We are waiting for her to join back while Anita and me will discuss the job prospects in the teaching field. What do you think, Anita? How is it in the teaching area?
I'm not sure about the teaching field. Yeah, I think the process more or less is the same, whatever the faculty it is, whether it's IT or it's teaching. I'm presuming there'll be many agencies that recruit teachers and teaching assistants as well. And I think, to be honest, Sunita must be doing something very similar in the field of IT.
Your voice is breaking and cracking in between, Anita. Just have a look in maybe internet or something. Yeah, just check on that.
I'm so sorry. Coming back to the process of applying, I'm thinking because Sunita has been in the UK from 2000, she's probably set up a very robust system, because when I was talking to her off there a minute ago, she said, although she's mainly IT focused, but she's also trying to help clients with non-IT jobs, etc. So it's going to be very interesting.
I can share a little bit about my experience in the teaching field, you know. So when I came to UK, I knew for once that, yes, I don't have a PGCE and the B.Ed is not recognized in UK. So, hi, Sunita.
I'm so sorry. I lost the internet for some reason. I did.
Yeah, that's okay. We started talking about teaching recruitment.
That's all right. We went off on a
I'll just complete that, you know, I'll just complete what I was saying in case it might be helpful to people. So I knew that B.Ed is not recognized in UK. From wherever you do B.Ed, it's not recognized. You must do a 1-year extra course, teacher training, PGC, some kind of qualified teacher status, isn't it?
Yes.
So, but so I don't want to study. Like when I came there 6 years back, my children were in university and I had no intention to study. So what I did, I started looking for a job which doesn't, in the teaching field, in education field, which doesn't require a QTS. So there are so many other options in where I could go. So I've started, but everybody wanted experience. So for experience, I joined as a supply teacher. So there are these external agencies which take supply teachers. So I would go for 1 hour to this school, 2 hours to that school. You know, whenever a teacher would be absent, I would just go and take experience. So slowly and steadily, my CV started having experience in this school, that school. And, you know, it would be so nice that 1 hour we would get 20 pounds. So it was quite okay when you come from India, and 20 pounds for 1 hour, it's like, you know, okay, kuch to mil raha hai na. So dheere 2 hours, 3 hours, so per day 70 pounds, 80 pounds, 100 pounds ऐसे होने लगा. तो slowly मैं एक स्कूल में चली गई with the experience. So that is all from me. Now back to Sunita.
think it's a catch-22 situation when you have the qualification, but you don't have the experience. And to get the experience, what better than an agency? Excuse my throat. And to get experience in IT, what better an agency than Sunita Chaubey's agency? So please, Sunita, the floor is all yours. A little bit
Thank you.
information.
Thank you. So, yes, so I would take this forward now. I started my agency around 10 years back. My situation was a bit different because in this country, you know, child minding was very, very difficult 20 years back. So I used to feel that I'm neglecting my son and I'm unable to give him time and stuff. So I decided to do something which keeps me going in my career, as well as, you know, it's not neglecting my family time and my kids' time. So I was a resourcing head for Barclays at the point, and I quit that job, started this agency. It was not a very easy kind of decision for me, but it took some time. And then, yes, so as I totally agree, initial days and initial time is very difficult for any profession. It's teaching, nursing, IT or anything. With IT, I think if you have very good experience with multinational projects, it is still better. And still, you know, you can crack into the market very soon. But other professions, it takes time to build your CV, to understand the market, for the client or the person you're going to work for, them to recognize your caliber, your talent, and your hard work. So it takes a bit of time in those kind of non-IT sectors. But engineering, IT, these sectors, I think it's a bit easier. So I started going back to my company. It's known as SID Limited. We have a website you can go through. I'm also on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So we are extensive recruiting at the moment. In fact, we were more busy during the lockdown rather than anybody else, because that was the time clients were looking for professionals to work from home, getting the technology up and running. As you know, lots of consulting company like Tata's, Cognizant, Infosys, they bring people from India and then they put them on project. But due to lockdown, due to coronavirus and COVID-19, it was very, very difficult to bring people. As you know, the travel was being restricted, the vaccination was not up and running. So we had to literally, you know, recruit people at that point of time. And yeah, that's how we have been, you know, be keeping ourselves busy and getting loads and loads of people job at this point of time.
So if I was to apply, what would the process of applying be for me?
See, application, there is two ways how you apply. One is we advertise on most of the social media. So it could be LinkedIn is the main place where all the professionals are either advertising or they are blogging or they are giving information and stuff, you know. So that's one very good free resourcings are there where you have resources which you can pick up from LinkedIn. So we do advertise in LinkedIn. Apart from that, there are websites for IT where like JobServe, CV Library, CW Jobs, JobSite. Those places also we are been advertising, because right now if you go to any agencies like Hayes, Reed, the bigger ones as well, they have automation system. The moment any requirement comes in from the client, it is immediately advertised and floated in all those social media, including Facebook, Google and stuff. So when you see an advert, you can apply through an advert. Or second thing is that you try to reach out people like us who are on LinkedIn, because it's a big network. It's more of a networking. So LinkedIn has two sides to it. One is networking and one is active job. So if there is a job, you apply through it. Or if you think you are in market, you can't see much of jobs, then you connect with agencies like us and you can register your CV there. As soon as we get any kind of requirement, then we immediately get in touch with you.
Okay, so suppose there's no advert. I'm just having a hypothetical scenario here. Suppose there's no advertisement at the moment, but I am interested. I can drop in my CV to you.
Yes.
Would you be, and even if there's no job available at that point, would you be contacting me, or would I be getting some response from you?
See, basically what happens is the moment we get the CV, whether there is an advert or there is no advert, if I get a CV, first thing, we have like 25, 30 years of experience. I look at the CV and I immediately understand this person, this kind of profile can be used for this client. They normally have that kind of a hiring. They have normally got those kind of projects. And many a times what happens is that we have been continuously advertising on certain role, but we get CVs, but somebody else's CV comes from the blue. And we see and we say, oh, this is an exact match. Why don't I, try to send him there? So that's how we connect with candidate. If we don't have any vacancy, we'll let them know. We will keep trying for you. But at the moment, we don't have. So if your situation changes, suppose the candidate gets a job somewhere else, they need to inform us as well that please do not look for me any project. But as long as we will try, we will keep looking for a good project for that consultant. Yeah. And if there is any flaws in your CV, suppose you have reached me out and you say, I've been applying to many places and I'm not getting any calls or response. We would like to highlight those issues on your CV or those points on your CV, which is not getting you a call, because seeing all the local CVs, we know exactly where you're going wrong or why. Sometimes we also get a bit lashback that, how can you say that? Because I think when we are going for a job in the market, or when we are looking for something or changing our career, we have to be open-minded of getting the criticism, and that's where we grow stronger. Suppose I say that, you don't have any UK experience. I don't mean that you're not technically sound. I mean, you need to look for a project, because what happens is when you send it to the local British people, your CV, what they're going to see is some names which they are familiar. So you might be a very good Java developer. You might be a very good consultant. You might have very good experience, but you have not worked on any international projects in US, UK, Australia, or anywhere, and plus you have not worked for a client like, if you have GSK or you have Atos or you have Accenture, they know these companies.
No, I see where you're coming from, but Sunita, don't you think that quite a few of the people coming from India would face this problem anyway?
They are facing, that's what, but what I do is, what we do is that when we talk to a consultant and we feel that this person has a knowledge, but he's only lacking or he's been not taken forward, we ask our clients to do a technical test with them. If you clear the technical test, you have already proved yourself, like you have good skills. See, everybody doesn't get a job in top 5, right? But that doesn't mean that person is less anywhere. But yes, that's where our role comes in, because as an agency, I am the mediator between a client and the candidate. So I should know how to convince my client with the candidate. I would say just get one interview for that person and just see. Because sometimes what happens is that they also think whether they'll match the client culture or not. They'll be, able to handle big projects and big teams. We say those, yes, they might have those things. But when we go into a situation, we start learning, and we as an Indian specifically, I think we are, very accommodative. We quickly try to adjust with whatever situation we are put in, The only thing I face with those some candidates are attitude, because they think, oh, I have done a lot, in my lifetime, and I am
That's
the best.
also understandable. Okay, but how do we correct them with dignity?
Yeah.
so that they are not offended.
See, from
And how
our,
do we
from,
guide them that
yeah,
these are they should not be putting in their seat, or this is probably what they need to highlight. I can give you my example. The first job I applied for in this country, they wanted me to fill in a very long form explaining myself, selling myself. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. If I fill in everything on that form, when I go for the interview, I'll have nothing to talk about. So I filled in very little, and it goes without saying I was not even called for the interview. And I was genuinely upset because I thought I was a very strong candidate. I might have been better than the others. But now, in hindsight, when I think about it, I think they were right, because it was the procedure which I failed to recognize at that point. So, thinking of people who've just come to
yes,
this country or who are planning to come here, who are probably used to the old system of CV, which is acceptable in India, what would
yeah.
be your do's and don'ts for them?
See, whereas CV, there are a lot of CV professionals who talk about your CV, you know? Yeah, they do. And what you were saying about forms, yes, nowadays these ATS, what we use for our database, for our candidate database, sending CVs to client and all, like Telio and all, I could name a few of those. They have a very lengthy process to submit your CV. So you have to give an introduction, and there is a reason behind it. Those forms you have to fill because is that they are seeing how you're presenting yourself. See, some clients are not interested what you have done. They're interested what you are going to add value to their company when you join them. So they're interested in that. So how you write, so your soft skills, your communication, your drafting is what they test on that. Some people think, why to fill such a big form? What they do is that quickly, I'm interested in job. Explain a bit. If you don't have that much patience, how are you going to work? There are some companies who do 4 to 5 rounds of interview. Some just select in one round of interview. So you cannot say that they are right and somebody is wrong. No, it's their process. They have decided process with some reason, and also that application
process.
Yes, and that application
process.
Correct. So that application probably is not going to one person. It's going to a panel of people. So it's going to your, the management. It's going to the HR. It's going to the technical team. So obviously, the technical team who will evaluate you technically, he will see only a technical aspect. But the HR or the management team, can he face a client? See, any client facing roles are there. No, they will be very, very selective on communication, how you present, how you convince the client. So many things that form is speaking for you. And of course, the technical and the MR round also. Now, as you said, you fit so much of form. If you would have gone into that interview, there would be loads and loads of things more. They are already prepared and ready with the process, what they're going to throw to the candidate. The candidate is being checked in so many details that they want the best person out. In my field, I have lately come to know that they're not going so much in detail. They're seeing you're technically good unless you're client facing, in sense, your front office staff. They are not going too much in details. In front office also, they see your communication, your personality, your talking sense, all those things. But as a back-end coder or coding or development or whatever you're doing, majorly skill-based. So it's 90% of skill, 10% of other things. Yeah.
Question then from there. You're obviously dealing with different companies. Okay, let's say company A, B, and C, and D. All of them there'll be some common things that they'll all require, but there'll be some specific things that the companies may differ, or they have a different agenda or a slightly different ideology. When the client comes to you, do you issue specific guidelines per company, as in terms of, if you're going for A, this is what you should avoid and this is what you should do, but if you're going for C, these things are perfectly fine? would you be guiding
Yes.
the people who go through you? And
Yes.
how would you go about it?
So what happens is that once the client says that, I like his CV, I want to speak to him tomorrow. So we generally try to buy some time from the client, that give 24 hours or 48 hours. But if I'm personally confident about the candidate, I know that this person I've spoken and he will crack it, I just call him, explain everything on the phone, that this you will be expecting, this is the call, all those things, we'll prepare them. In certain cases, we send the job description. We also send some questions that prepare on these points, because earlier candidate was rejected on those. So we make our notes as well. And we also take feedback from candidate and client. Why you rejected him from the client, and from the candidate, how did your interview go? Where do you think you went wrong? And where do you think, see, one thing in this country, I have felt that, the candidate will never come to know when they are doing interview until and unless they have really performed very badly, that they might be rejected. They come so positive, oh, the interview went very well, I think I have got the job. And then the client says, no, sorry, I am not hiring it. And it becomes very difficult for us, because he was so positive, calling me, saying that, the client spoke to me for 1 hour. It was a big discussion, but all of a sudden they say, the client says, no, I'm sorry, I won't be able to hire. And I have to then ask client, you spoke to him for 1 hour, you asked him these questions, he has answered, now tell me, why are you rejecting him? So we have to, then we go back to the candidate, and as you say, with dignity, we tell them that, sorry, so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, I'm sorry, but this has not gone ahead, because they felt you were a little less on the architecture side or the designing side or whatsoever, whatever is the fact, but in a very nice way. Because obviously, some point of time, even I have been a candidate, and somebody just says that you're not good at something, I would like to know, I would like to improve myself. And I think candidate also notes this point and goes for it. I think you're mute, Anita ji.
Am I mute?
Now you're fine. Now you're fine.
I'm actually very intrigued to know, what are some of the common reasons that the companies reject you on?
Oh, there are lots. There are lots. You won't believe, they come with such reasons that I would have never imagined, or I would not reject somebody, the reason for that also, yeah, I would like to speak from the client point of view, is when they get a choice of 2-3 candidates, obviously they will pick up the best one. Yeah. So especially the A and B category companies, right? Because for them, they are getting, they're getting a menu of 15 things on their dish. Why not, But the ones which know that, yes, we can get this candidate, groom him, and he can be an asset for the company, they are fine to hire, whatever the reasons is. But major reasons in our industry has been attitude, yeah, which I spoke earlier. The candidates talk in such a way that, yeah, I have 2-3 offers. They open, they flash out, I have 2-3 offers. If you're offering, let me know in a day or two, or else I will be accepting other offers. First mistake you should never do is speak to the client that you have offers or you're going for other interviews, because what they think is they may lose you at any point of time. So not open too much, So one major reason has been this, that he thinks he's very, very good at certain things and he will have lots of offers. So I'm not hiring him, because what they fear is that if we make him an offer, he might leave within some time and go.
There'll be no loyalty. So
loyalty, yes. And also attitude, in sense, like you have to be very polite, very soft. Even you must have realized, if they say no, they say it so well that you cannot bring your that aggression or anger out, that why did you say no to me, kind of. They talk so politely and give you this thing. That's how your interview should be. But when you go there and you say, oh, I know everything about it, I did this, I did that, I have studied from IIM and this and that, like big things they talk, which is good for you. But then when you're doing an interview, you say what value will add for them. They're more interested in knowing that. They're more interested in sharing knowledge.
Slight disagreement there. how do I sell myself then? If I've done something,
you can sell yourself instead of saying that I have graduated with the top 5 and stuff. You can sell, there was an issue in our previous organization, and in that previous organization I with that issue or with that problem, I sorted it out in this way. So what exactly you have done, your institution has given you a stamp, your college has given you a degree, but what exactly you have done. I think I had a question. I'll be taking question at the end of the session, please.
Fine. Yes, there is a question that came up. Do you want me to do it now or as we go along?
Whatever first your questions are, let's go through it and then we'll take one by one.
Picking up my questions from the conversations that
yeah. That's very interactive, and I'm really liking it, Anita ji. Thank you so much. So
I'm happy to get take the question, because I think,
before we go for question, I would like to just introduce something in current market situation. Is lots of people are coming on skilled worker visa, or I get a call every day.
Sunita, just a minute. Can we just answer this question?
Yes.
Visa is a big thing, so we're going to have a big discussion about that. So
yes,
the question is, do you deal with service delivery, ITIL jobs? And
yes.
From MP?
Infrastructure roles. Yes, I do.
You do. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on that?
Yes, I mean, ITIL roles like I handle from cybersecurity, infrastructure, EUC, project manager infrastructure. What specifically, sorry, I'm getting some disturbance. What specifically, which kind of roles are you looking for? Because it's a vast area. So I can, if you're anything specific, I can elaborate. See, in technology or IT, other than engineering and embedded, I'm doing everything.
I hope that answers the question. And if there are further questions, you're more than welcome to contact Sunita on a one-to-one basis. And Sunita, you'll be able to guide a bit. So it says incident manager, for example.
Yes, incident, problem managers, all these kind of roles come NT. And yes, I do get these kind of role. I don't get too many of those, but once in a while we get these kind of roles.
And you'll be able to give assistance with CV development as well with regards to this.
See, I don't get involved in CV. That's something for also GDPR reasons. I don't want to, influence you to add this and that on your CV. Your CV, you know better what is your experience and all. Yes, you can tweet a little, which we suggest that why don't you tweet it? Like, you can't write everything on your CV. So as per the job description, you can tweet a little. But I would not majorly help on the CV. My job starts from the time you send me the CV and I start looking for you a job.
Comment taken on board. Coming to the visa, you mentioned it. So how does it work in terms of the visa applications and which tier allocation they've got to enter the country? So till now there was a visa called tier 2. One was ICT, intercompany transfer, and one was general. So ICT used to be from the Indian companies who are bringing from the offshore companies, not specifically Indian offshore companies. They used to transfer the consultants on site. UK projects and stuff where they used to sponsor visa that used to not allow you to apply for your ILR for a longer period, like you couldn't claim your British citizenship or indefinite leave and stuff. Yeah. But now all that is being scrapped, and there is something called as PBS, point-based system skilled workers, which means that you have to have a certain point to get the visa, and the major point of 50 point is being given if you have an offer letter. So there are two types of things as a business going on. One is umbrella company sponsoring and one is direct client sponsoring. Okay, so as an agency,
I would only speak as an agency. We only provide to our clients who are sponsoring. So our client says that we have a permanent role, we can sponsor. You can refer us some tier 2 candidates who are currently on tier 2 on ICT or general, but within UK and already in UK. The reason for that is right now it's been amber and people have started coming into the country. You never know when they will stop these things because of the virus spreading and stuff, as number goes up, everything stops. So their thing was that it takes at least 4 to 8 weeks to get the whole process, then there's notice period of the consultant and all that. So it takes like 8 to 12 weeks to join. So the client thinks that if they are in India or any other place outside UK, they might be able to travel or not. And secondly, the visa office might have a lot of backlog and things like that. So how soon they'll get the visa, not sure. So what happens is that we prefer.
Makes sense if we've got.
Yeah. And secondly,
we have to employ them first. I mean.
Yes. And they're already in the UK. So what happens is that the second brownie points they get is, they're already working in UK. They already have UK experience. They have worked in UK for they can match the location. Everything is being in place, So they prefer going for those, because I'm talking this for specifically consultants contacting me from India, that there are lots of umbrella companies who will sponsor you, bring you here, and they say, it is a very simple path for it. And, I also do that. But the problem now is what we are facing is that because local people are there, we can transfer them as well. There will be less demand and more supply there. So the people who are coming through an umbrella company, they might be jobless for a long time. And this country is not cheap. You have to be working to pay your bills, your rent. Yeah. So I would advise, until you have a job in hand, don't take that risk. Leave your settled job and come to this country. And then, if you're unable to find a job, it might be a very big risk. Or normally you can take a risk, like a couple coming. So one is on the tier 2 and the other one is also IT based. So they can get into a good secure job because they don't need any visa or anything, they're dependent. So those people I will encourage.
They should be careful about how they're going to financially sustain themselves.
Correct. Because I'll tell you, I work with major consulting companies, and all of them say that they are not going to take tier 2 for contract roles. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. They are ready to do permanent, but they are not going to sponsor. Who are already on a sponsorship, they are ready to transfer. No, it's transfer is a word. It's not literally transfer because they have a visa. It's more convenient for them to get them on skilled worker visa. But rather than sponsoring a fresh case,
Let me try and break it down so that it's slightly easier to understand. If I'm already in the country on a visa, it is comparatively easier for me to hop from one company to another.
Yes. Because the moment the company says, I want to hire somebody, I'm okay to look at tier 2 cases also already in the country, it becomes very simple. But there are some companies who say, I'm fine to sponsor and get people from overseas. See, those companies, small company also, but they have their own project, in-house project. For them to sponsor and bring is not a risk. I'm here to make people's career, not break it, right? And I don't want to give a wrong advice. I would say, if you are ready to take that calculative risk that you might be on bench for 2-3 months, or more, but you have that money reserves to take care of you, please take that chance. But if you are earning member of your family and you come here and you don't get a job, these can take, you mental toll. They might put you into mental pressure, stress. Financial, yes, stress. I mean, obviously those, because you financially are not able to sustain, it's going to give you stress. Yeah. And then health issues and stuff. So please do not take that so big risk unless you're 100% sure about it. And second also thing I would like to mention here, because we are doing this show in the month of September. As you all know, December time and January time is a holiday period, which is a slack period, and getting a job in those months are really difficult. So if you are planning to just make an application and come here and start looking for a job, it might be difficult. Secondly, we are facing at the current market situation is there are a lot. Earlier, I'm talking about like even 5 years back, when we used to advertise, we used to rarely get people locally. But now we are getting ample of people locally. Yeah, because there are lots of people who went in IT 10 years back, 15, 20 years back, because that was the time when it was just picking. So many of us, in every house you will hear, there is at least one person who's working into the IT industry. So we are getting people locally. So for me, if I get a CV of a British or ILR or spouse visa, I would go for that. And last resource, I'll go for a tier 2. Again, the second issue which I'm facing is that salary or rate matter. Now, if somebody who's settled here and worked here for 10, 20 years, if he's asking for 800 pounds per day, that's fine. But if you have just come in and you're looking for a job and you're competing, that I saw an ad which is offering 800 and I'm also looking for 800, please, you wouldn't get it. I'm telling you now. You have to compromise.
To be careful about our finances.
Yes.
When we're coming here. Secondly, we need to be realistic in terms of what we will get in terms of money as opposed to what we really want. So if we see different advertisements, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will apply to us, because reality is a bit different. Now,
third thing also I will add here is, recently I had an experience. I got a CV of a consultant who is program manager. Yeah, he just came from India. He's a program manager. And of course, he would be looking for a program management role only. But because we have already got people here on program manager, so there, who is from an IT industry would understand that every project has a program manager. So some of them, like 3-4 projects, there is one program manager for that. So that requirement is less compared to a developer. Correct. So now he was looking for a program manager, but I couldn't get him a job. I got him 2-3 interviews, but I couldn't get him a job. The reason was that already there were local people. They were preferring them or somebody who is from competitors industry already working as a program manager. So management roles, what I'm trying to highlight here is management roles are not that easy to get through on a tier 2 visa. Yeah, I mean PBS or skilled worker visa at the moment. But if you management roles, but if you go for development, architecture, integration, and those kind of roles, support roles, of course, there is a lot of scope. But as soon as it becomes a manager, scrum master, or agile business managers, those kind of people, the demand is not so much.
Okay. In future, do you see the demand changing a little bit, or is this trend going to be?
The demand is there. The demand, as I said, in COVID times, we were working and we were very busy because there were a lot of work there. But again, as I say, see, earlier what used to happen is that most of these consulting companies used to bring people from offshore to on-site. So for less, rate, they used to come here and work and bill. Now that they didn't go back, they are still there in the country. And now they have got that gate open where they can switch and go for PBS, So obviously, problem is that they are there. Already local people are there. So we already have a lot of people around. When new people want to come from overseas, for them it is becoming very challenging, because they are new. They're almost new, or they're starting from zero. So now suppose Lloyd's has a role. I'm giving an example. Lloyd's has a role. Lloyd's will tell me to give a candidate locally, right? And I have a candidate who is in India. He's exactly what the client wants. So I can sponsor and bring him. But Lloyd's will say, when you have it locally, why you want to bring and waste so much of my time? Yeah. And by the time I process his visa, he comes and then he gets into it and all that. And then by the time, there are companies like XYZ who are consulting company, they'll say, why you're waiting for somebody to come from India? I have it on my on site, offshore. I'll bring him over and I'll charge you cheap as well, or I have somebody in my bench. Why don't you take him? Because he's ready with visa. So I lose business, one. Secondly, it makes sense because the timeline and notice periods in UK maximum is 1 month. Certain companies have 2 months, or if they have signed an India contract, then it is 3 months. But maximum in 1 month's time, they are available. But if I bring from India, I will not tell them to resign until they get a visa in hand. Then they resign. And if it is 3 months or 2 months, then it is very challenging. The time is quite... time consuming to bring. Yeah.
If I was an IT consultant in India, I'd probably think twice before.
Yeah, you should. No, I would say that the things won't change in coming days. But at the moment, I'm talking about at the moment. See, I'm not discouraging somebody. Of course, we all have come here. We all are migrants. We came with a hope.
Be realistic. Yeah.
But be realistic. I mean, I'm showing you the right thing. If you're ready to accept and wait for those things, please do come. No problem at all, that is what is my... And as I said, if I get CVs where husband, wife both are from IT. So I would suggest that, this is there. And like the husband, I find it challenging to get him a project. But wife, I would be, the wife, I would be able to get her a job. So I sponsor the husband and I put the wife on a full-time job. So she's at least earning. There is no much of issues there in the earnings. And gradually the husband will find it, maybe, in a couple of months. So he'll find it. So I don't think... it's bad there. Yeah.
All right. So if I apply for a job via your agency, what should my expectations be from you?
One thing is, if you match the role, I will get you an interview immediately. You should do the interview. If you are selected, I will go through the UK background checks which are required. You have to commit to it. I have taken that effort. I have put all my time and energy and get you a job. Don't, let me down by just leaving me at the wrong time and taking another opportunity only for 10, 20 pound more or 50 pound more, because at the moment people are looking at inside IR 35 and they are really going here and there, that even 10, I understand it's 10, 20 pound also will make a big difference, but commitment, because see, an agency like me, which is 20 years in this country, I have everything on my record. Tomorrow, if you come for a job to me, I'm not going to entertain you because you let me down. See, my hard work, I'm only paid when you get a job. I have put all my time, energy, everything. And if you are going to let me down, I can't trust you for the second time, So that's what commitment we expect from the candidate. Secondly, if any agency, not only me, but if any agency is not coming back to you, there could be two reasons. One is the management or the client is not giving us any reply reference to your application. We have been chasing. That doesn't mean we are not chasing, because end of the day, you should remember this, that we get paid or we are making money only after placing you. So our interest is more than you. You may get a job anywhere, but placing you will get money only on you, right? So we are chasing our clients a lot, but they're not coming back. Or second reason could be that we have a better candidate than you. That's why what we are doing is, first we are trying to sell that candidate, and then backup, we are keeping you just in case, there's a second role coming up, or maybe that person lets her down, or he goes somewhere else, or he's not available due to some reason, then I have you there. So be patient. Like if I'm telling you, yes, we are looking for, or I'll come back to you, that means I am interested in you.
Right.
But
so what would be the mantras? Be patient.
Yes. Be patient, keep in touch with your agency. That also I'll say, some of the people, they think we will come back, but we think this guy has got a job, and that's why she is or he is not following up with us. So we also just take a back seat. But I would say agents are your friends. So keep a network with them. You will need them some point of time.
Okay. Would there be some kind of a registration fee or?
No, nothing. We don't charge any other candidate. We are being only paid. And also, I would like to highlight here, there are big agencies, big percentage they charge to the clients. We are small agency, and we believe in getting somebody's job and making little bit of profit on that. So no, we don't charge anything to the candidate. Yes, if the candidate would commit to me, I start his process, which cost me around 100, 200 pounds. I would, I don't ask, but they should have that courtesy that, this agency has put from the pocket. So they return back that background check fees, but we don't ask. We also think that, loss is loss. What can we do?
So when you talk about loyalty, is there a kind of an agreement, or is it just a verbal agreement, or do we have a written
No,
agreement?
I expect this from candidate as a courtesy. I expect them, the way we see our advertising cost is already going when we advertise on the roles. Plus our telephone bills are also going by calling and speaking, and then we invest in the background check, because we need to get a background check before they start on projects. This is only for the contract candidates. In certain case, we sponsor visas for them. So obviously we put so much of time, lawyers fees and everything. In that case, if you decide, no, I'm not going to join Sept, I want to join somebody else, it should be your courtesy to say, sorry, Sunita, I'm sorry, I found something much better, which I think is good for my career. I would like to go with it. But I know that you have invested so much of money and time on getting my background check done. Please let me know what is the fees, and we would like to pay off. But they just take us for granted and walk out. We never ask. But that's what I would like to say to them, that try to understand that we are also human. We are also working very hard. We are also trying to, we talk to so many clients, so many people that, oh, my candidate is good, I assure you, and all. So, and you let me down, or you just walk out, or, just use me for your sake in getting visa and everything, coming in this country and then walking out, is not a good sign. And as I say, we all recruiters have our network. We talk to each other. If we put that person's name in our network, then it becomes which I don't do. Obviously, I'm here to, as I said earlier, I'm here to make career. I'm not going to spoil anybody's career, but somewhere you lose trust on those people, and this is happening a lot. That's
a shame. Then if that's happening.
Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, be honest. You say, sorry, Sunita, I've been waiting for long. You are unable to get me a job. I have got something else. I would like to go. I appreciate that, and I will take it, But
that's nice. So if people do go through your agency and things are not happening, then I think the right thing is to let you know you've decided to take your custom somewhere else, which is fine. Because at the end of the day, they also need a job. But I think it's the way you say your goodbyes to someone.
Yes,
that makes a lot of difference.
Yes.
And I think what it is if we're hopping from one agency to the other, what we need to be mindful of is they have the network, so they'll be discussing as there is in every profession, really. It's a small world.
Basically, one thing they feel, that's what I feel, being in this country, we don't have any discrimination. We welcome everybody and anybody. So there's nothing like that, but yes, I would say I have a bit of bias to my Indian candidates because I feel I am here already and I had gone through a lot of tough times. So why not help them out? So I am here, your friend. If you discuss openly with me, whatever issues you can discuss, if you have financial issue, if you have something, I would then take more little extra step to help you out, you know. So that's what I feel.
As an agency, as a
Yeah, no, here, see, agency is work related, but apart from that is as a human, I want to help. And I would tell which IIW knows that it's, I'm also a women organization. I employ maximum women. Even for my clients, I have a special rate that I promote the women in IT, women in technology. I prefer getting them a job first. Is my preference, because I've seen lots of women's after maternity, they want to return back to work due to getting married and relocating, or, you know, with the husband, they have come here, they're just settling down, they have gaps in their careers. We first try to encourage them and work it out. I would like to have a session with the IIW only on women technology sometime, maybe, you know, soon. Yeah, because definitely in this country, women are less than compared to men. And probably the reason is that some of them are young children's mom, or, you know, they have a family to first take care of. But don't worry, we are talking to clients to make them work from home, never go to the client side, Zoom meetings and stuff. So if you want to come back to work and you think you can put that little extra efforts, because we all women have a lot of roles to play, I think I will be looking to get you a job in that area, you know, whichever is there. So
very, very helpful. And
yes.
Okay, so I've just got a message here that I need to leave, but how can I contact you with my CV?
After the session, I think, Rashmi, I'm just going to text you my details, my company card and my company website. But at the moment, I will tell you my email ID is my first name, Sunita, at SIDTech, SIDTECHINFO.com, and connect with me with on LinkedIn as Sunita Chaubey from SIDTech. And I will be putting my visiting card on IIW's website and also IIW WhatsApp group. So whoever is interested or looking to connect with me, please feel free. I might not be able to call you immediately. There are a few meetings and stuff, but on email, on text message, I'm available.
Sunita, also you can write on this chat your phone number or whatever. You can just write. I hope I've written correct. Sunita at sidtech.com, right? Sunita at sidtechinfo.com. I'll write it down. Oh, just write it down.
Info.com. Yeah. Okay, that's been interesting, and I could go on and on and on, but
yeah, I also want to help. I would like to take some live questions next time. I might want to do this monthly to help as much as people. We can have different topics every time, maybe visa, maybe women's coming back to work. Also, if there is any issues at the client side, somebody is facing any discrimination or anything, we can discuss that, because these topics, I go back to my clients and I put them across that, you know, this is the feeling what they have, and we can then try to help them out, you know. So any grievances,
we can fix a date, you know, one second Saturday or first Saturday of every month, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'll look into my diary and I'm definitely going to work that out. I'm more than happy to help. In fact, I would like to take a graduate recruitment for IT as well, so that we can groom those fresh candidates coming out. I do have a tie-up with somebody who's training on how to do interviews. So definitely, you know, because there are loads of questions. Some children feel I'm from a state school, that's why I'm not given preference. It's nothing like that. You have to just be ready with your whatever you have done. Those kind of, I'm not a career counselor, but I can definitely help from the job point of view.
Brilliant.
Okay.
On that note, thank you so much, Sunita. It's been a pleasure, and I've learned so much. Thank you so much, and we look forward to.
Thank you very much. Probably
last word.
Yes, Rashmi will give me the last word. And before that, Rashmi, maybe once you're back, let's have a face-to-face meeting in Central London, especially for the females who would like to not talk over the phone or email. They want to talk to me regarding their job and what they are facing. I would like to have a meetup kind of a thing there, you know.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, great idea. Sunita, we have recruited you.
Yes, of course. I'm always there for IIW. No problem.
Yes.
Hello. Can I have one question. Hi, Sunita.
Yes.
Hi, Anita.
Hi.
And hello, Rashmi ji.
Hi.
It was a really lovely, nice session. Okay, my husband is sitting with me. He would like to ask one question.
Yes, please. Yes,
no,
please.
Yeah, I wanted to know about career counseling. So basically, because I've spent almost 10 years in one company, I worked with Bank of America. And I wanted to know, I wanted to talk to someone about my skills, what I have, because I've done variety of work over there. My job profile has been changing. So I just wanted to understand, okay, how do I position myself in the market?
Sorry, I don't know your name, but I see what Ashish. I can do is, sorry?
Yeah, Ashish.
What's that? Ashish. Ashish, email me your CV and probably I'll connect with you one-to-one because I'm not into financial recruitment, but I have my other other agencies who do that. But I can at least talk to you that what other changes you can do in your career. So let's connect.
This is IT, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, you're in IT. Fine. Then I'll connect with you. Please send your CV. We can have a quick word. Maybe tomorrow only I will call you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you to everybody who's been watching. Sunita Chaubey from sidtech.com, recruitment company, especially for IT, but of course, ready to help everyone and all, especially for women who are looking for job after a break. Okay, thank you so much, Sunita. We are going to have your session continuously over a period of time, and you will definitely give us some few dates. And Anita, thank you so much. You're a lovely host, and what an impromptu host you are. You just joined and you just started.
I must say, this is my second or third. I must say, Rashmi, thank you to you, first of all, to give me this opportunity. And I must say that I was very, very energetic and really loved the interaction of Anita ji. I would love to have her my host for all my sessions because someone actually is talking sense, somebody is asking me those questions because probably she has also gone through her own career changes and her challenges, which is really talking about it, and I think after 2-3 sessions, I'll make her an IT consultant.
Job waiting for me. Lovely.
Thank you and good night and bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Very quickly tomorrow, very quickly, 1 line, 2 lines, just tomorrow, what we have. So tomorrow is 5th of September. It's Teachers' Day. So Inspiring Indian Women has organized this She Inspiring Awards for teachers only. So we got overwhelming list of nominations, and out of that, the judges selected 3 in each category. And tonight, just after I end this session, we are going to post the results on the IIW page. And tomorrow at 4 p.m., same link, same password. Just log in to watch Inspiring Indian Women, She or He Inspires Awards for only teachers who worked hard during the pandemic. So please be there in support, to applaud, to clap, to congratulate and acknowledge the hard work by the teachers. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you. Good night.
4
Bye.
p.m. India time. 4 p.m. India time. Take care.